A very good morning, good evening, and good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. I'm enjoying this series that we are doing. Anyway, this is the Life Signatures podcast. It's a daily show on the subjects of purpose, productivity, and resilience. We get to learn and to get to understand quite a number of things through this series. We're talking about raising spirit-led children. If this is your first time to listen to the Life Signatures podcast, I need you to understand that it is a podcast on those three subjects of purpose, productivity, and resilience, and it's going to come to you every working day. And maybe you're going to have 10 minutes or 15 minutes of an episode, but that's a daily show. Sometimes very, very, very minimal times we'll go past the 15-minute mark, but it's a daily thing. We're talking about raising spirit-led children in the past several episodes, and we're going to continue going strong. We are doing that so that we can be able to learn to differentiate how we were raised and how we're supposed to raise the next generation. We're seeing great things happening to the next generation, and they are waking us up. So today, let's go deeper into this. Stay tuned.
Welcome to the Life Signatures podcast with Lawrence Namale. Lawrence is a life coach, author, and keynote speaker who loves to tackle different topics on purpose, productivity, and resilience. His mission in life is to awaken all your boundless possibilities available in you. Life Signatures podcast is dedicated to bring to reality every single person who knows that deep down in their gut, there's got to be more to life than this. And now, here is your host, Lawrence Namale.
Let's do a recap for you. You are not raising a spirit-led child if, number one, you do not teach them to cherish their inner compass. Number two, you are not raising a spirit-led child if you do not teach them to the importance of self-extraction. But what we're dealing with, number three, you are not raising a spirit-led child if you do not nurture and nourish their creative capacities. Introduced that in the episode yesterday. We started talking about their creative capacities, how creativity is not for quote-unquote creatives, but it is for all of us, and I'm going to go deep and explain that even as we continue, because we cannot exhaust that in the episode yesterday, nor even in today's episode. Because in nurturing the spirit, in nurturing the creativity of a child, the nurturing spirit also has this idea that the spirit has this idea that everyone is a creator. And I know that, there are different levels of creation. There are people who are out and out creatives. But then it doesn't mean that the rest of the people are not creatives. In nurturing the spirit of creativity in our children, we will be doing them a great favor. A great favor if we make the discipling, the mentoring, the raising, the coaching, the parenting, if we make creativity part and parcel, in fact, central to their being, central to their growth. We'll be helping them to deploy their full God-given potential. We'll be helping them to go the extra mile to see the extent of the potential that they have. We'll be helping them to unleash the incredible things on the face of the earth that will be a blessing to many, instead of just, conforming them to what already is. Spirit is not faithful to whatever has been born. Okay, I know that sounds controversial, and it is controversial, but spirit is not stale, not short of ideas. There's always the new. There's always going to be the new. as human beings, there's always going to be the new. We can always invent. We can always innovate. We can always bring, and sometimes we don't even need to look for creativity. It's already embedded inside of us in terms of our passion, the things that we want to see come to pass. And we do this by asking questions. What if? Or maybe you see a problem somewhere and you're saying, someone must do something. The other day I saw a Gen Z in Kenya saying that corruption is not a big monster. It's a simple problem. Just get the president to get the specialist IT people and create through open source and blockchain a system where it's easy to log in all the government expenses and all the government collections that anybody anywhere can be able to see. Transparency. And I'm like, yeah. You see, that's a new thing that the Spirit is speaking through the voice of that particular Gen Z. The old is what we've already always known. The Spirit brought the old, but the Spirit doesn't live in the old. It's always bringing something new. Let me tell you something. If you want to know the Spirit has ended, has stopped working, just look and see if the population of the world has stopped growing. That's when you'll know the Spirit is done. But as long as people are still being born, Spirit is always bringing us something new. So how do we do this? How do we help these guys to nurture them through their creativity? Number one, that's what I'm just going to talk about today. Tomorrow, going to talk about something else. Number one, we need to celebrate their creativity, and I'm a culprit as far as this is concerned. Let me tell you this. When a child comes to you, even with the most stupidest and the most rudimentary creation of their own, we need to learn to celebrate it. We need to learn to pat them on the back. We need to learn to say, well done. Instead of just doing a half-baked, yeah. Oh, okay, I hear you. Now go to your room. I'm one of those people who need to do this, to learn to celebrate them, because the creation that they're coming up with right now, it is a flow, and it is not perfect. It's in the flow, as in what I'm talking about, flow, F-L-O-W. I'm talking about they are in the process of learning creativity, and we can easily stifle and stop it when we don't celebrate it, when we don't acknowledge it and we don't celebrate it. They create a kite and so on, and instead of saying wow and marveling together with them genuinely, we just pour cold water with a cold shoulder onto it. And I'm a culprit, keep saying that. Whatever is celebrated almost always grows. Wives should know this. If they praise their husband on one thing, he is bound to do it again and again and again and improve on it. But if they criticize him on something, he'll stop. He will stop it. If they criticize him on something, he tends to either do it again or stop it or become indifferent to it for a long time. And the same thing applies to the children. There is constructive criticism, and I know those words sound politically correct, but there is something like constructive criticism. But we're talking about celebrating that which has been done. If we're talking about children, a child will do things that seemingly are, in your opinion, kids play. In your eyes, kids play. And they actually are in your eyes, kids play, but not in their eyes. They have sat down. They have thought about it. They have put their effort onto it. They have put their life onto it. They have put their sweat onto it. They have put their dedication onto it. They have put their passion onto it. They have put their commitment onto it. And they have brought it to you. To you, it's kids play. To them, it ain't kids play. It is a creation. And we need to learn to look at it with the utmost respect as if it's a masterpiece. To you, it's kids' play. To them, it is a masterpiece. We need to learn how to celebrate these small achievements. We need to learn how to go the extra mile and encourage them to do even much more. And a friend of mine has encouraged his daughter to create some crafts and to sell them. It's an amazing thing to see a child at 8 years minding about creating things to be able to sell them. That can never happen if we do not initially celebrate what we call kids' play that they are coming up with. If we don't learn to celebrate these kids' play, these things that to us they are not a masterpiece. There will never be a masterpiece to you, especially in the initial stages. We need to learn to celebrate the effort. That's the point. The effort that has been put in here. Because when you celebrate that effort, it gives them the oomph, the motivation, the inspiration to go an extra mile. If you must criticize, if you must look at it and say, it's not good up to scratch, make sure there has been a big praise unto it. But your criticism should not be a criticism, it should be a question. Ask them, what if you could do this? Can it be able to do this? What will need to be done for it to do this? You see, you are helping, you are spurring the growth. You're spurring the flow of creativity. You're opening their understanding. And they're now looking at it from a totally different angle, albeit with your input, a mature input. It's no longer kids' play. It starts making a sense to them. But let kids' play continue to be kids' play, and let us celebrate the effort behind the kids' play in them trying to be creative. Tomorrow we go deeper. Until then, bye-bye.
Thank you for listening to Life Signatures Radio. If you enjoyed today's show, subscribe to Life Signatures Radio on iTunes, Stitcher, or visit our website at lifesignatures.libsyn.com. Life Signatures Radio, fresh, clean, and inspiring.